Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Keefe's Kitchen. Another year, a brand new me, all right? And as a part of being a new person, even though it's not New Year's, it's been 1 year since I started the show, so I figured I should try something that is very un-Dylan-like. I made something sweet. What did I make? I made this. See this? What do you think this is? Well, you don't have to guess, I'll tell you. It's homemade cookie butter. You ever heard of cookie butter? Yeah, you know, up until probably like 3 or 4 years ago, I had never heard of this stuff. It's called speculoos, I think. It's Danish, and it's basically these crushed up Biscoff cookies, which I have here. All right, these cookies are amazing. So, how did I get this? How did I get from packet of cookies to this? Well, let's find out. Now, as I mentioned, this particular cookie butter is made with Lotus Biscoff cookies. You could use other stuff, but that's what I chose for this to make it authentic. And now we need about 2 cups worth of crushed cookies, which comes out, according to the internet, to 30 cookies. And there's 32 in a package, so you get 30 for the recipe and 2 for you. Look at that. I put mine into a plastic bag and whacked it a bit with a rolling pin. You could just pop them whole in your food processor, but why? You know, why? Just crush them up, okay? Once they've been moderately crushed, not pulverized, but moderately crushed, we're going to add them into a food processor. Now, as I started pouring these in, this is about when I discovered that I probably had made a mistake, and that I had too much cookies for the food processor. But you know what? We'll soldier on, and we're going to blitz these cookies up with 4 or 5 pulses of the food processor into a fine crumb, and we'll add the rest of those in there, as you can see here, nice and fine. And we'll add the rest of the cookies, and again, at this point I realized that I had made a huge mistake. Too many cookies. But never one to shy away from a challenge, I decided to do it anyway, for you guys, and for me, mostly for me. Blitz those cookies up, again, till they're a nice fine crumb, and we're going to start adding in the rest of our ingredients. So here I have a 1/4 cup of whole milk. Again, use whole milk, don't use none of that 2% stuff, okay? 1/4 cup of whole milk. We'll add in a 1/2 teaspoon, not tablespoon, a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 tablespoon of packed brown sugar, and 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. You could also use unsalted butter instead of that coconut oil. Add the food processor lid back on and begin to process for about 2 minutes, and you'll see pretty quickly the stuff starts to come together and thicken up. Now, if you feel like it becomes too thick, you can always add in a little bit more whole milk, and I kind of poked it here and decided, you know what, that's a little too thick. So I'm going to add about a 1/2 tablespoon of whole milk and blend it a little bit longer. And that actually worked out really nicely to loosen it up. So after another, I'd say about 30 seconds of blending, my cookie butter was finished. And I'll tell you, my poor food processor was really getting hot. So next time, I think I'm going to do this in a blender. Use a little bit bigger of a food processor, and you can see the texture of this is very similar to fresh peanut butter or room temperature peanut butter. You can see it kind of dripping, and got it on my hand. Anyway, that's fine. Chef's privilege, right? So now we're going to put it in the jar, and this stuff, because it does have milk in it, it'll keep in the fridge for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. I would definitely recommend using it by that time. And to be honest, right, you'll have it eaten by then. Okay, I promise. Anyway, wipe off the lid. Make sure you don't have any cookie butter on there, and cap it in your glass jar. And that's it. Your cookie butter's done. Okay, well, you saw the process. You saw my poor overburdened food processor. Yeah, I realized about halfway through that I probably should have just put it in like a blender instead of my food processor, but I was committed at that point. So here we are, as you've seen. Now, I haven't done the price like a comparison for like how this prices out versus just buying a thing of speculoos, but I would imagine that it's cheaper. I hope, because if it's not cheaper, then I don't know why I did this. For fun, for learning. Well, since I am an adult, I'm just gonna eat a spoonful out of here. Now it's got a really nice texture. Let's see if it'll focus on the, nope, don't focus on me, focus on, there we go. It's got a really nice texture. You can see it's kind of pouring off of the spoon, which is good, kind of like room temperature peanut butter. And when you put this in the fridge, it'll solidify up, and you should be able to spread it a little bit more. So I'm just gonna eat this, and I'm gonna tell you what I think of it. Here we go. It's really hard to describe properly. The level, it's clogging up my throat. It's hard to describe properly the level of satisfaction you get when you eat a mouthful of cookie butter, okay? Actually, wait. The closest thing that I can draw a line between is the first time you try Nutella. You're looking at it and you're like, what's the big deal? Why is everybody hyping up this brown chocolate looking spread? And then you put it in your mouth and you're like, oh my goodness, I understand. And that's the way it is with this, okay? You'll be like, why is everybody talking up this cookie butter? Why have I never heard of this cookie butter if it's so good? And then you're gonna put a spoonful in your mouth. You're gonna put some on ice cream. You're gonna put a scoop into your oatmeal. You know, you're gonna put some into a smoothie, and you'll realize exactly why. This stuff is amazing. All right, I'm gonna have to hold myself back from just continuing to eat out of the spoon like an absolute barbarian. It's that good. Make this, okay? Oh, by the way, you don't have to use these cookies. You can use Oreos. You have to take the cream out, but win some, you lose some. You can do it with peanut butter cookies. You can do it with chocolate chip cookies. I don't know how that would turn out, but you could try it. One I kind of want to try, Thin Mints. I think that would be really good. Anyway, that's about it. And I'm gonna go and put this away, back in the fridge, so I don't eat all of it. And you know, guys, welcome to another year of Keefe's Kitchen. I know, again, this is like the middle of spring, so it really isn't a new year, but it feels like a new year to me. And hopefully, this will be a great one. Thanks for coming along for the ride. I'll see you next week. Bye.